For you, does this car look familiar to you? Well, how about now? If you're a fan of the Ghostbusters, you'll definitely recognize this and all the other cars we have here. We're going to tell you how a group of guys turned their passion for 80s movies and cars into a very cool project. We have a live report coming up next.
A group of Oklahoma guys turn their love of cars, they combine it with their love of 80s movies. The Oklahoma Knights have created some truly unique cars, and some of these are going to look familiar to you. Fox 23's Carrie Netherton joins us live. And Carrie, show us some of these cars. I'm anxiously awaiting this because I know there's some cool ones there.
You know, Ron, every once in a while we get to do something really cool, and this is one of those days. We've shown you a lot of cars on Daybreak, and this one is a little different than what we've shown you. This might look familiar to you if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters, or, you know, you've seen the movie, or maybe you even haven't seen the movie. This is the ambulance Ecto 1. This is one of many cars that have been recreated by the Oklahoma Knights. They do this for fun. In fact, we're going to bring one of the Oklahoma Knights in here, Michael Hyatt. Let's talk about how you guys got started in doing this.
Mostly it's just a fascination with these vehicles from the 80s. We started out by each one of us creating our own Trans Am Knight Rider cars, and got really carried away with it from there. Each one of us kind of has a fascination in theme vehicles, and we decided, well, you know, if we can create one, let's see if we can go a little bit further. And we've had a lot of fun with them. We love showing them off to the public and using them in parades and events, and
they look amazing. They look really amazing. Of course, we're looking at the Ghostbuster machine, or as you guys call it, Ecto 1. And let's talk a little bit about this one. Where did you find the car, and how did you start putting this one together?
Well, essentially the ambulance, the donor ambulance itself, came from a gentleman in California. When we got our hands on it, she was pretty rough looking. She needed a lot of work mechanically and cosmetically. We just started looking at still shots from the movies. Since we're all pretty big fans of Ghostbusters, we kind of knew what we were going for, and pieced it together, and little by little she started coming together, and we're still working on her to this day.
Well, it looks amazing, and we're looking in the back there. You can see you guys really have a lot. You have so many details that are just right on. That is the backpack and all the stuff there. Would you just kind of like pick this up where you can, or how do you find all this stuff?
Pretty much everything you see we've made ourselves, especially around the time Halloween. We have put all the packs on. We do exhibits at like Halloween at the zoo. But no, everything is homemade by ourselves. We throw it all together and see how well it comes together, and if it works, cool.
And you said you've driven this around town too.
Oh yeah, we've done a little bit of cruising around with it in Tulsa a lot, in Claremore a lot. It's quite an attention getter. It's a little hard to stay hidden if you're going to drive around in the Ecto 1.
Absolutely.
But we always get good responses from it, and people always wanting to take pictures of it, and we just love showing it.
All right, now let's get to this next one here. We've got about a minute left, so we're going to try to get through this one. Of course, this is the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and I'm just amazed by even, again, the detail. You've got the hoverboard in there, you've got the almanac, you've even got the Mr. Fusion in the back. Talk to me a little bit about putting this together.
Well, this is a car belongs to a buddy of mine, Raul Rosario, and me and him and his friend went to Dayton, Ohio, and picked up the car partially converted. And over the last few months, we've been doing a lot more work on it, trying to get as authentic as we can. This one's a little bit more work for us. We have the props and the cosmetics to make it look like the car from the movie. So it's also a work in progress, but it's a fully functional vehicle that can be driven on the road. Something that he does quite often, drives it to work, and drives it around Tulsa, brings it to Claremore and around town every so often.
It looks great. Thank you, Michael, so much. So you even see they've got the flux capacitor back there. I mean, it's just amazing how much everything they've got here, Ron. So we've got some more cars to show you. We've got KITT, and we've got the Jurassic Park Jeep. Plus, we're going to tell you what car they're working on next. I'll just give you a hint. Think Mohawk and a lot of gold chains. That's coming up in our 8:30 half hour. Back to you.
Now, can the DeLorean actually be used as a time machine?
That's what I was asking. I said, I could use this right now. There's some things I need to change. So I don't think it actually works as a time machine, but that's a good question.
All right, Carrie. Looking forward to the other cars. Thanks, Carrie. Right. Some more information. Michael Hyatt takes his KITT car to shows around Green Country. The car will be at the Star Trek convention, in Tulsa at the end of June.
Looks like I'm sitting in just any old Jeep right now, but take another look. Imagine a big dinosaur chasing me right now. This is from Jurassic Park. We're going to tell you how this was created, and KITT coming up at a live report.
KITT, the Batmobile, the Aston Martin, the General Lee, sometimes the cars we see in movies and TV shows can be just as famous as the shows themselves.
Yes, and there are a group of guys. They are taking their love of all these shows and cars to a whole new level. Fox 23's Carrie Netherton joining us live this morning. I guess these cars, Carrie, they look like they just came off the movie set.
They really do. It's pretty amazing. In fact, we've had people stop by going, what is this? Because it's truly unique. And you can see this if you watch Jurassic Park, or even if you've seen clips of the movie, you've probably seen the Jeep going through the jungle and you see the big dinosaur coming after him. Well, this is a recreation of this. And Michael Hyatt with Oklahoma Knights. The Oklahoma Knights have created all these different cars. You actually use this. You drive this around. This is like your everyday vehicle.
Oh yeah, this is my everyday vehicle. It originally started out as my wife Melanie's Jeep. And I got my hands on it and said, you know what, that looks a lot like the Jurassic Park Jeep. It just needs the paint and the symbols. So it converted it over. It's a big favorite of my kids. And like you say, it is my everyday vehicle. And we take it out mudding and we get crazy with it. But at the same time, we clean her up and let her fall into the whole show car category. And it's a theme vehicle, and I love driving it.
And again, you've got so many details on this too that makes it look like it did just come off the movie set, which is pretty amazing to do this.
Yeah, I've tried my best to capture the look that they had in the movie, and there's some subtle differences, but it's not hard to distinguish between when you see it going down the road. Yep, that's the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Of course, you got the symbol there too. Now let's talk about, we've got 3 cars right next to us, and obviously if you've watched Knight Rider, even if you haven't, you know what this is. These are 3 different KITT cars, and this is kind of how the Oklahoma Knights kind of came together.
Right, these cars these are our personal cars, me, Raul, and Joey. Each one of us kind of started this whole thing off with a fascination for the Knight Rider Trans Am. We started working on them, built our own. Some of them are still got progress on them they need. But you're right, this is how it pretty much started, and we just kind of got carried away after the Trans Ams got started, but they're a lot of fun.
And of course, this one on the end here is yours, one that you put together, and it's very, you can hear, once you get closer to it, you can hear the actual voice and everything. So you've got it like about as close to KITT as you could possibly get.
I've really tried. I've been working on the car since 1994. I've used it in a lot of car shows, a lot of parades and events. Like you say, it's pretty close to the one in the TV show, and I've tried to capture what they did in the show with the voice and the dashboard. The body.
And I also noticed on the dashboard over there, you've got a couple of signatures that are pretty significant here.
Yeah, we took the car last month to the Knight Rider Festival in Las Vegas, and those signatures are from George Barris, kind of the car god of movie and TV cars. Also, there's a signature from Michael Chaffee, who's the original designer of the Knight Rider dashboards. When Universal wanted to make the TV show, they went to him and said, hey, draw us out plans, make us a dashboard, and he sat in the car and checked it all out, signed it, and that was a really interesting and very good experience.
Now, did you win an award, or did you just kind of got recognized for having really one of the best KITT cars?
Well, when we were in Las Vegas, they did give me the award, the George Barris Award. There were several other Knight Rider Trans Ams there. I think one of the reasons why they gave me an award for it is they were a little surprised that the car actually has a functional smoke screen and an oil slick, and so I've tried to make it as true to the show as I possibly can, and I think they saw that, and it was really wild.
Well, these cars look amazing. You guys have done a wonderful job, and we appreciate you bringing them out here so we can see them this morning.
Oh, I appreciate you guys taking an interest in coming out and checking them out with us. It's so much fun sharing them with people.
Absolutely. And again, we were just saying that there were a lot of people coming by here just to check this out. Now, we want to tell you what they're working on next. It's the A-Team van. So we're very excited about this. So whenever they get this done, we'll show you pictures of that, of the finished product. So I know there's a lot of guys back at the station that are excited about that one. And Ron, back to you.
Yeah, I'm going out to get my big old chain.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect.
Carrie, thanks. Michael Hyatt, by the way, takes his KITT car to shows around Green Country. The car will be at the Star Trek convention in Tulsa at the end of June. Memories. Bringing back memories.
A-Team. Love the A-Team. The big